you guys remember when I said palettes were dead, right? Remember when I said that? And then I had to walk that back because a lot more palettes came out. Well, they just keep coming, okay? They just keep coming. There have been a lot of palette releases, I feel like, lately, so I thought we could just chill, hang out, chat about some of the new launches. It's been a little holiday overload lately with Black Friday, with actual holiday makeup releases and collections. That's a lot of what has come out, and I'm also doing the holiday advent calendars, so I just feel like holiday mode, like I'm in it right now. But every time I just get the little chance to go on Instagram, I'm seeing new palettes left and right, especially from indie brands coming out. But let's just get into it. We're gonna talk about palettes, we're gonna talk about the new stuff, just anything coming out, see if there's anything worth potentially, you know, scoping out, seeing what's out there. All right, first thing I'm seeing here is a collab palette. This is with Michaela and P. Louise. It is a massive palette, you guys. This thing is massive, okay? It's mostly blues and browns, and it's every color I feel like of blue and brown you could possibly ever need / want. It's so big. How many shades is this? Seriously. 50! It's 50. It's a lot. That is a big palette. I can't imagine holding that. That's one of those palettes that's gonna have to sit at your desk or like sit on the table and you dip into because it's a big one. I believe it says it's like to have and to hold in case you get cold. So it's like wedding themed, winter themed. You guys know me. I am very much into a smaller palette. So this thing is... it's mega for me. This is like way too big for me. Also, I mean, there are a lot of blues in here, a lot of color in here, and a lot of mattes. Like there isn't a ton of shimmer. There are some, I see some popping out, but it's a lot of mattes. And so this is definitely not the palette personally for me, but I wanna know what you guys think of the palette down below. Let me know. I think it's hard when you do a palette so big and also such a small color story to not get colors that look too similar to each other. So I kind of wonder how that looks, but I haven't seen it in person. I'm not personally interested in it, but I'd love to know again what you guys think of this palette. Is this something you like? Are you also into these kind of monochromatic? I know this one isn't because it has definite blues, definite browns, even a few purples kind of thrown in there. But I will say I don't always love something monochromatic. I like having a few different pops, unless it's like monochromatic, boring colors like okay, I'll get those. So maybe I should shut up. I don't know. Definitely makes a statement though for how freaking big it is. 50 shades. How much is that? Wait, how much is this thing? Doesn't say the price. How much is this? 50 shades for $51? Okay. I mean, that's a good deal though. Thinking about the palettes that are out, I feel like $70 is pretty standard at this moment for like a high-end palette in Sephora, and those are usually gonna be like 12, maybe 15 shades. This one has 50 for $51. I did not think it was gonna be that cheap. I thought for sure this had to have been in the hundreds. That's what I was thinking. So pretty good price. Also, I feel like the pictures on the P. Louise website are a lot more saturated. The colors look a lot more different, I feel like, in general. I just think it's a better maybe representation of what would be happening. Still a bit of repetition because of, you know, just how the color stories are, but I do feel like it shows them a little bit different. So very interesting. I definitely feel like for the price, it's a better price point than I thought it was gonna be, for sure, like for sure. There's a new palette from Alamar Cosmetics. I haven't seen something from Alamar, I feel like, in a long time, and this is the Destino palette. It kind of feels like a spring or summertime palette just with the different colors that are in here. I feel like you could do something a little bit more almost leaning on pastel with this one. I remember loving their shimmers. I haven't tried their palettes in forever, so I wonder how they've done. One of the palettes I kind of regret skipping out on is the Encanto one that came out with them, like the collab palette, because the sparkles and shimmers in that palette honestly looked stunning. I kind of regret not picking that up. So I wonder how this one is. I don't think the color story is, again, quite what I'm looking for. I think it can make some beautiful looks, don't get me wrong, but I don't know if it's enough to quite get me on this one. But I'm excited to see a palette from Alamar come out because I do think that they have some good formulas, and I don't know, I just have like a fond remembering of their brand. Okay, another blue toned palette. The blues are in, I mean, I guess for winter I can see it, but this one's from Cosmic Brushes. It's the Winter Wonderland palette, and this baby is monochromatic blue. It looks like it has some duochromes in it, pastels in it. There's shimmers, there's mattes. I feel like for anyone who loves blue, this palette is for you. This is the palette for you, baby, because it is blue, blue, blue. I do not like blue enough for this many blues, okay? I like a pop of blue. I love a pop of baby blue, a little shimmery blue, even a dark navy. I don't know if I need a full palette of blues quite like this, but again, for anyone who wants them, loves those bold pops, I think this palette is full of them. And Cosmic Brushes is pretty dang affordable. It's 20 shades for 28 pounds. I have the, I think it's the Muse palette from them and the Serenity? It's the Serenity palette. And in terms of pigmentation and quality, I do think they're really nice, especially because they're so affordable. So definitely a brand to check out if you're into very colorful shadows and you don't want to spend a bunch of money. I think that Cosmic Brushes is definitely an indie brand to check out. Okay, this palette I've been seeing, and it's definitely one of those ones that catches your eye because of the packaging. This is from Cara Beauty, and it is the Cookie Tin Creative Beauty Palette. Now, I feel like people are either gonna love this or like loathe this. Love it or loathe. That's like the two things, to be honest. So this looks like one of those cookie tins, and I believe it's supposed to be a sewing kit. Like basically this tin has been repurposed to be a sewing kit, and then it's now a makeup palette looking like that. Does that make sense? Because that's what people do with these tins. And I think that's so creative and so cute in terms of what's inside, in terms of the colors in here and the eyeshadow palette, the beauty blender. Again, cute concept. Really think it's fun. I don't want to use it though. You know what I mean? It's one of those, like, to me, this is novelty 100%. Like when I look at the pans all jumbled in there, oh, it's a lot. When I think of the fact that there's like brushes in the palette, like those aren't gonna stay in there. Either is the sponge that looks so cute and looks like the little pin cushion, like so cute, but it's not gonna stay in there. So those become empty spaces. I don't know if I love the color story. Like, I don't know about all of that, but I think it's cute as heck. Does that make sense? Like, that's how I feel about it. Like, I think it's so novel and so fun and very interesting. Definitely put it on the map, which I think is really smart. So in that way, I'm excited to see what else they come out with, that type of stuff. But I don't think I'll be personally picking that palette up. As you guys might know, Odins Ey did come out with holiday palettes this year, and they brought back last year's holiday palettes. So those are out currently. I do have an affiliated code with them. It is Lauren if you want to use it to save some money. And I do have a video talking all about a ton of holiday releases. So I will leave that down below if you want to check out what I've been thinking about a lot of the stuff that's come out so far for holiday. And I have swatches in there, all of that stuff. And I'm kind of torn on this one. Like, I love that the palettes have been expanded. Like the holiday palettes were expanded to these new ones this year, but some of the color stories on them are a little bit different. Out of the new palettes, I do like the Snow Dream better, just color story wise and all of that. But I really highly suggest picking up the old palettes if you haven't, if you're into color, if those color stories speak to you. I really love the Merry Christmas one. That one's probably my favorite. And I'm really glad they came out with them again this year. There will be a Black Friday sale happening really soon. I don't know when this video is going up, to be honest, but it might even be happening when this is going on. So if you're interested, I don't think actually though these palettes are on sale. My palette, the Sea Talk palette's gonna be on sale. The other palettes from the Perfect World collection are also gonna be on sale. I know Angelica's Halloween palettes are gonna be on sale. So I believe all those will be 30% off, and other things on the website will be at 50% off, and codes stack on anything that aren't collab items. So if you're wanting to look at the Odins Ey stuff, this might be the time. I really wish that the holiday palettes were going on sale. I know it was like a quick turnover, but I feel like because we're going into holiday, all of that, like, it's such a short window. I kind of wish those were on sale and people could snag them at such a good deal, but I don't believe at this point anyway that the holiday palettes are on sale for Black Friday. But check out the website if you're interested in anything from Odins Ey. Black Friday is definitely the time to save some money. Continuing on, there's this little tiny palette. This is a little bit tempting to me, from Cosmetics. This is the Divine Skies eyeshadow palette, Saturn Returns. It's a cool toned little palette. It's like little pie pieces. I think it's so pretty. These are the tones, to be honest, I'm wearing like every day, okay? I wear these like every single day of my life. I just can't stop. I've actually been making a point to like try different palettes every single day, like old faves. I just wore the Rowan Eyes on Me quad, which is so pretty and a little bit more warm than I've been going, and it looks stunning. So I've been trying to branch out, even if it's still neutral, just like different tones, but this is really truly like the color story I've been into. So I really do like this. It's $42. It has silver and lilac tones, some gray and brown type of colors that are very cool toned. So caught my eye. Will I get it? I'm not sure. Maybe at some point I'll pick it up. I don't know, but I do think that it's a really pretty palette. This one kind of shocked me. I didn't think that Melt was going to be coming out with a second palette or like a second collection for the Nightmare Before Christmas stuff, but they did. So the first one they did was, I believe, Halloween Town, and now this is Christmas Town. So it's like a two-part collab. absolutely shocked that this was happening. The Christmas Town collection has a few different things in it. So it has a 10 shade eyeshadow palette in it, and it's inspired by scenes and colors from the Christmas Town. It has some glitter eye gels, there's some two-tone lipsticks, a cream highlight and blush duo, and also a cosmetic bag with zero on it. I feel like the cosmetic bag honestly is the cutest thing in here, to be honest. Like, so cute, and I feel like you could use it all the time, you know, like if you're into Jack and Sally or into The Night Before Christmas and you get it, you know what I mean? In terms of the palette itself, very rainbow-esque, very bold, not my thing personally. And I feel like I want to see what the other one looks like, because it was like an Oogie Boogie kind of look. I think out of the two palettes, I actually prefer the Halloween Town one, just because the tones in there, just those slight changes of tones, I think I like a little bit more in the Halloween Town, whereas the Christmas Town palette has like a bright red, it has like that yellow, which is kind of a chartreuse yellow. I kind of like that, but I don't know, it just feels more primary, even though it's not entirely, and I'm just not as attracted to those colors together necessarily, and especially not necessarily on an eye look. So I think that they mostly make sense as color stories. They feel just kind of colorful in general though, and so I don't know. I think this one's definitely, it's for who it's for, and I think this collaboration makes a lot of sense with Melt. They've done the Beetlejuice collection in the past, and so I feel like this one totally makes sense also with that in mind and all of that. I will say again, because I know this video is going up around Black Friday, that they're doing a really great Black Friday sale over on their website. I don't think any of these new palettes are on sale necessarily, but some of the other palettes are like in the $25 range, $20 range, like crazy good deals over there. $5 lip products, $8 blushes. Like, they really went hard on their Black Friday sale. So if you were looking for some Melt products, it might be something to consider. You can really save some money. All right, it has been a while since we've done this. We've sat and just chatted about new stuff. So I'm gonna take it back a little bit. We're gonna kind of rewind, and we're gonna talk about some stuff I actually just have with me. Let's talk about the Natasha Denona Xenon palette. Now, I know you know in your heart if you want this palette or not, okay? You already know. It's a black, white, grayscale palette, okay? Do you want this? If this is the type of stuff that you use, then you're probably gonna love it. If you do not wear blacks and you do not wear grays, this is not the palette for you. I bought this to have as reference. I bought this because I have so many of the Natasha Denona palettes and I wanted to see it in person and all that. But I'm telling you, as a palette, it's a little bit redundant. There are beautiful sparkles in here, beautiful textures in here for sure. But just in terms of color story, like, it is what it is. Like, if you didn't like the mini Xenon that came out before this one, I mean, it's kind of a bizarre thing to expand it. To me, personally, I don't know, but I know a lot of people seem to really enjoy this, want this when it was being teased and released and stuff. So this palette is out. This is the newest one. I still love the I Need a Nude the most. Obviously, I mean, no comparison really, but I will say Black Friday deals, if you guys want to know. Natasha Denona always does like bundles and stuff, and at least currently, I don't know, I just didn't expect the code that I have to stack on top, but it does. So LMB15 will save you 15% off. That is affiliated, but if you're going to be shopping on there for Black Friday, I've shopped the Natasha Denona sale, I feel like the last 3 Black Fridays in a row. Like I said though, you guys already know I love the I Need a Nude. I feel like the Yucca is great if you want something golden. I really just love the textures she's been doing lately. I think they're really pretty, really sparkly, really beautiful. So some other palettes that I have in front of me, and I just want to like give some shout outs to. This is from What's Up Beauty. This is the Dragon Eye palette, and this thing is so stunning as well. It's a little bit colorful, but there are more shimmers in here than there are mattes. You know I'm excited about it. All of the shimmers, that's what I have on my eyes. If you've been wondering, I kind of did a mix of Fly and Magic on my lid today. I put a little bit of Creature in my crease, and I put a little bit of Smoke on my outer corner, and they're just stunning. They're just the exact kind of colors I like. The tones of these also remind me a bit of the Shimmer Saga quad from LH Cosmetics. So I just think these are really beautiful, really stunning, and the quality of these shadows is beautiful as well. So very happy with this. Definitely a brand to check out, I feel like. What's Up Beauty definitely has some nice palettes. They do a nice mix, I feel like. Like, this is color, but I feel like it's still pretty approachable. The next palette I want to show you guys, this one is one I bought myself. I do have a code with Glaminatrix, but they weren't sending this out in PR, and I knew I wanted to get my hands on it. The Fairy Lights palette. I mean, it's sparkly and it's neutrals, and I was just like, I need to try it. Plus, I really wanted to see how different or similar this is to the Glimmering Creatures, I believe it is, like, collection that they came out with. It's like 6 single shadows. They initially did a neutral bundle bundle. Now they have a second version of those shadows, which are a little bit more colorful. And I do feel like overall, the texture on these is like maybe a little bit different. These might even be more metallic overall, but I do feel like they're pretty similar. So if you missed out on this, because I think this might be sold out, I feel like the Glimmering Creatures bundle or any of those, if you just pick little shadows, if that's what you're interested in, I think they're going to be really similar. This one though does have a hollow in it. So there is this shade called Cracker, which definitely has something a little bit more holographic going on. They're very metallic, kind of silvery. All of them have like a little bit of that silvery tone to them. So I'm excited to play with this. I literally just got this in the mail today. So I haven't even put this on my eyes yet, but I thought I would include this in here because it's one of the palettes that actually got me. I was like, I gotta get that. I'm gonna get that one. I think this might be one of the last palettes I'm talking about in person, but the Pretty Grunge palette from Huda Beauty, I've really been loving this palette. I really do. Especially like if I had to compare it to the Natasha Denona, I mean, like I prefer this one. It's not quite just grayscale. Like you could do the same look. There are some like silvery tones in here and all that, but as a more full functioning palette for me, at least, it works a little bit better. There are some really nice mattes. I've really been loving the mattes. I feel like these big Huda palettes that come out for holiday, they really are the best quality. I just think they're really nice, and I've told myself like I'm not gonna sleep on them anymore. Or I'm not gonna do it. So I'm really glad that I have this palette. I do quite like it. When I'm thinking about how I'm ranking them, I mean, Rose Quartz is first for me. And then this one, along with probably the Naughty palette, they kind of tie, at least in this moment, for my favorites. If I wanna go cool, I'd go with this one. If I wanna go more warm tone, I'd go with the Naughty. You know, kind of just depends on what you're interested in. I do think the Pretty Grunge has a lot of similar colors. It could have been maybe condensed down, but I still think it's really pretty. And I really enjoy the quality and just this palette in general. But if I had to give you one recommendation, I'm telling you Rose Quartz just knocked it out of the park for me. It has those duochromes that this is missing, flaky shades, shimmery shades, a little bit of color. I don't know. I just love the Rose Quartz. I just think that one's the best one so far anyway, personally. But I do think the Pretty Grunge holds like a second place for sure. Maybe a tied second place, but still second place. Continuing on with palettes, I'm gonna be looking on Makeup on Your Radar. I feel like I see a lot of palettes and just indie stuff and just tons of new launches from that account on Instagram. So let's see, there is a new palette from Shroud Cosmetics. I don't know when this came out, but it is called Dark Academia, and I think that the outside's really cute. I love the idea of Dark Academia. Inside, it is a little more holiday-esque to me. Like, I don't get Dark Academia from this. I almost get like maybe the Dark Holidays or like, I don't know, Krampus or something, but I don't know if I get quite Dark Academia. There's like a red, a green, something that looks a little bit orangey. I think it looks festive for sure, and I've enjoyed the Shroud Cosmetics palettes I have. I have Betty Jean's collabs from Shroud, but I think that's kind of a fun one. Again, I'm telling you, the indie brands are just coming out with so many palettes, you guys. I want to mention specifically a palette from DD's Signature. I was so glad to see DD's Signature back up and running. I know they took like a break for a second, so I'm so glad. And the Jingle Bell Ruby palette, I believe is what it's called. I think this one's stunning. You guys know I haven't been as into color, like a full-on color palette, but something about this palette I think is stunning. I just think that DD Signature comes up with some really great color stories. Like, there's something about them that just stands out to me. This is a half matte, half shimmer palette. I feel like the mattes correspond with the shimmers really well. It's pretty green heavy overall, but I just think the shimmers look stunning. I've had palettes from DD Signature in the past, and I felt like they were just such great quality, so I really wanted to shout them out and just let you guys know that they're back. And also this Jingle Bell Ruby palette I think is really pretty if you're looking for something holiday themed. There's a new palette from Adept Cosmetics. This one is called the Element 115 palette, and it has this like interesting shadow in the middle. It's kind of, well, it has two actually of them. They're like stacked in a bunch of different colors. They've done some like highlighter face palettes that have the same kind of like rainbow in the pan kind of colors, if you know what I don't know what to call it, okay? That's just I'm trying to tell you, you see the picture, okay? You know what the hell I'm talking about. Anyway, I feel like in the pan, I'm like, oh, okay, like this color story isn't necessarily for me. Again, it feels really bright overall, and I don't feel like the shimmers are coming across in real life. But then I see them swatched on an arm, and I'm like, okay, well, that is pretty. Like, I see the shimmers, I see the flips, I see all of it. So I do think it's a pretty color story overall, especially swatched out, but I don't feel like it's the one for me. I do feel like Adept has some pretty nice shimmers overall. Oh, and the palette is actually not too bad. For some reason, I thought this was gonna be way more expensive, but it says it's $65. So I remember Adept stuff, just like for some reason, I'm like $100 and something for things. I'm like, what's going on? Like kind of a lot of money. I don't know if I talked about this, but Adept had another palette. This one is called the Samaran Sunset palette, and it is back in stock, I guess. And this one's more warm toned. I feel like, again, like it's a pretty color story. I love that you're getting so many like duochromes and things like that, but not quite the one for me either. I don't know what it is, even though it is more shimmer heavy, which I do appreciate. You know me. I love a shimmer. Don't make me say it again. This palette from Lethal has me a little bit like tempted, even though I know it's a little bit dark for me overall, but this is the Midnight Serenade palette and it is launching very soon. We finally got the full inside of it and it has some pretty colors. I don't know. I feel like this one feels more dark academia to me. Like this one feels almost like it's giving me Crimson Peak a little bit with the butterfly, probably that's why. But I kind of like this palette. I'm excited to see a new design, it feels like. I don't know if these are like eyeshadows that you can just put in and out. I'm assuming though that it is because there's like a magnetic wand that's also kind of coming out with this palette. Like I'm sure it's not like necessarily a part of the collection, but it's launching with the collection. So I'm assuming those are like magnetic pans you can take in and out, but they don't seem stamped in the same way as like the other Lethal singles. So I don't know if they're the same size and all of that, but I don't know. I just like the outside. It's like moody. It's a moody palette. I feel like I'm missing stuff. Like there has to be more, but there's a new one from Alamar Cosmetics. This is the blue palette that would get me. Although it's not just blue. There's pinks, there's purples, there's other stuff in here. This one's called the Lands of Enchantment palette, and I do think, again, very pretty. The shimmers from this brand look stunning. I mean, this is a huge palette though, too. They do big palettes. I feel like all of their palettes are quite large, but I don't know, there's something about them that still feel cohesive, and even with such a large color story, I think the vision's kind of coming across. So I think it's a stunning palette. I like the artwork around the mirror. Like it's giving the fantasy and I really do like that. So that's the Lands of Enchantment palette. I mean, all of these are just so pretty. I feel like I've kind of backed off a bit from eyeshadow. I mean, I still love my eyeshadows, don't get me wrong, but I feel like I've been focusing on complexion a little bit more. I still have my highlighters or blushes and stuff like, I don't know, even lips. I've been really into lip products lately more than even eyeshadow, which is so weird for me because usually eyeshadow is my thing. But I will say overall from like mainstream brands, we're not getting quite as much. I feel like the eyeshadows are really coming through over on the indie side. Okay, these are some palettes that I do want to try from Gloss Gods. This is a brand that they do colorful stuff, but they have some really pretty neutral palettes that also have me excited. So I don't know if these palettes are new or if this is just a giveaway or they're just back in stock. I'm not really sure, but we're gonna talk about them because I do think they're stunning, and I think I maybe talked about Gloss Gods in one of these videos like one other time, but I really do think these are so pretty. This first one has like blues, purples, and some greens, but still some golds going on, which I think pop just so nicely. And that one looks like it's all shimmer, which I love that. This next palette, this is like a Hershey's bar palette to me. It looks so pretty. Kind of goes a little bit like brownie rosy. Like there's a little bit of a rosy undertone, a little bit of something purple going on. I think this is the palette for me. I think I need this palette. It's so pretty. Then there's something a little bit more warm toned pinks and purples, some like orangey, rusty colors in this one. And then we have something way more fiery. There's like this yellow, reds, oranges, stuff like that. Really pretty. I think Gloss Gods is one of those indie brands I need to give a try. Like I think that I really need to try them out. I'd love to know if you guys have tried them, what you think. Let me know down below. I think that's mostly it for the palettes overall. I thought there was gonna be even more. There is this kind of lull that happens when it comes to holiday that, you know, all the holiday launches way before holiday, like not actually around holiday. And so then leading up, it's like that makeup is just going on sale more and kind of, I feel like getting cleared out, and then they'll make room. They'll be like maybe a little like right before holiday launch for some brands, but then we start seeing stuff in, I feel like January and whatnot for early spring stuff. So it's kind of this lull, you know what I mean? It almost feels like what's happening, but I feel like it happens every year like this. So I'm trying to use that as an opportunity just to love the makeup I have. But there are some other products still coming out. This is from NYX and it's the Duck Plump High Gloss Pigment Lip. 17 shades. It says extreme plumping sensations. Okay, plumping plumping's back, baby. Everything has a plumping effect to it lately, and I'm not mad about it. I kind of love it, you know? Like, I kind of do like it. I would love to know your favorite lip plumper. Which one's the most extreme? I don't even know if like your favorite and most extreme necessarily go together, because maybe it's too extreme for you. But if you have a favorite, let me know that. But also, if you have one that's like the most extreme, like painful, let me know, because I'm kind of like interested. I want to see how far can they go. Like, I want to feel it on my lips. Anyway, I don't love that these are high gloss pigment lip. So if they're super high pigment, I don't know if I'm super into that. I love a sheer little glossy balm. I'm a tube balm girl right now. I'm loving that trend. Like, I know it's just lip balm, but give me them all. Seriously. These might be nice. I want to try them because of the plumping though. The plumping is what's saving that product for me. The name of it, Duck Plump. It's kind of funny. Duck lips, it's kind of funny. I mean, what else is there? If you're into Beauty Blender, they're having a set for the holidays. It is the Gold Vault. It's $195. You're getting 12 Beauty Blenders. So 12 Beauty Blenders, I think they retail for $20 a piece. So that's $240 for $195. I don't think that's a good enough deal. I don't know if they're doing a deal more for like Black Friday and then you could like stack. Maybe that's better, but I think that needs to be a cheaper deal, right? That needs to be a cheaper deal. Plus, I'll say it, and I say it, I feel like every time, the colors of the Beauty Blender sometimes changes the texture. Tell me if it's just me, but I feel like sometimes you try the blue one, it's not like the pink one. I don't even feel like the pink one and the black one, which is like the pro one, are the same texture. Like there's something like slightly different. So I definitely wouldn't want to like play roulette with all the different colors in that thing. Although it's kind of fun to like know when to switch your sponge out, but I don't know, how often are you switching your sponge out? Be honest. Be honest, or maybe don't decide. Just bury it. Pat McGrath has come out with something, a new Dark Star Lab, and this is really bringing us back. I can't believe she did one of these. I'm kind of surprised. It's the Blitz Sapphire eyeshadow, and then it also has an eye gloss with it. It's already come out. It's $46 for the set, I want to say, and it's really bringing back old vibes. It's blue, it's not pink and gold, so I hope people are happy about that, but I'm not necessarily interested. And you know, I don't know what this packaging is like in person, but it also is harkening back to this like older packaging, which was a bit cheap, and I feel like it kind of looks like that. I don't know. Let me know if you bought this. Is it like a better quality though? It's a beautiful blue overall. If you're looking for a blue, if this is the blue you wear, maybe this is like the perfect blue eyeshadow for you. But I have established like blue it's everywhere right now, and I have my few blues I like. I love a pop of blue, you know, but I don't want this much blue. Not right now, not right now. I don't need this much of it. I almost feel like I get more inspired to wear blues when it's bouncing off of other colors, like when I'm thinking of how it's gonna accent something, you know, instead of it being like the full look, at least for me personally. I wanna mention, because you guys know I've been doing the advent calendars like crazy, Trader Joe's has an advent calendar. Oh, I don't wanna get spoiled, because Sam, my husband's the best. He went to Trader Joe's and he bought me the beauty advent calendar and didn't tell me. He's like, I got a surprise for you. Open it up. I thought it was just a regular advent calendar, like maybe chocolates or something, which I was like, oh, that's so sweet. But no, it was the beauty one, and he just got it for me. And even the lady at the counter was like asking him all about it. Asking him like, why are you getting this? Is this for Christmas? He's like, no, just to get it for her. I know she'll like it. Like, you know me so well. Anyway, Trader Joe's has an advent calendar. They also have some like limited edition holiday scrubs. They have a lip product. I don't know, maybe something to check out, but I feel like that stuff sells fast. That's why I want to mention it in here in case you want to get it. It looks like we're already getting some sneak peeks from Lancome for Valentine's Day? Valentine's Day? I don't know. It says Valentine's on here. The L'Absolu Rouge. Okay, I butchered that, I'm so sorry. But there's French Tea and Dramatized Nude, and it's two different lipsticks. They have these hearts all over them, which are really cute. I feel like Lancome's coming. I loved the Lancome holiday collection. The palette with the Louvre was so beautiful. I love it. It is on sale for Black Friday, guys. It's like 30% off, I wanna say. I know that thing is stupid expensive. I don't really love the price, but it is one of my top holiday items that I've picked up this year, so maybe something to check out. But it's interesting to see them. Like, I'm like, okay, we're getting this, we're getting that. Like, there's some collections from them I'm actually like, keeping an eye out for. This is something that I did pick up from Hailey Bieber. It's the Rhode Jelly Bean Birthday Peptide Lip Treatment. This one is pink and has sparkle in it. So I did want to pick that up. I'm telling you, I'm just a sucker. You put it in the tube, it's a lip balm, lip treatment. Someone stop me. Someone hit me on the head. I just can't get enough. It's all I want to wear, all I want to do. Even though today I'm not even wearing one, I'm wearing a lip gloss from Fenty. This is one of my favorite glosses. It was just like a sample and I'm almost run through it. I need to like actually purchase the full size. It's the Gloss Bomb Heat in the shade Hot Cherry. This has a plumping effect to it too. It's really pretty. I think I'm gonna end it here. If I missed anything, if there's something you think I'd like that I maybe missed, let me know down below. What have you guys picked up? If you've picked up anything new? I feel like I've just been getting some stuff that's like older on sale, but I don't know. I feel like ever since the Sephora sale, there hasn't been anything too new coming out. So I'm like, I'm just kind of like, again, using it to enjoy the time, enjoy the holidays, use what I have, love what I have, that type of thing. And I think I'll be ready when spring comes around. But anyway, let me know what you think. Thanks so much for being here, guys. I hope you're having an amazing day, a good holiday. I'm just sending you guys so much love, and thanks for being here. Okay, bye. I'll see you in the next one.